Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen, and holy crap, the camera is once again choppy as usual. But whatever, we'll deal with that.
Yeah, you know. Anyway, we got a bunch to talk about because it was a cool weekend. Week. There was a bunch of stuff.
There was a lot of cool event kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like just general FGC news, not as much, I think, but definitely this weekend had a lot of really awesome action going on.
Sick weekend. So we're going to talk about the Tekken World Tour. And also, they announced some character from a video game. We're going to talk about the Injustice 2 ELEAGUE finals, and they announced, I can't even believe the characters that they announced. We're going to talk about Red Bull Battlegrounds coming up. We'll talk about KOF nonsense, talk about Hellboy and Injustice 2 patch, and maybe a Marvel League or two. So, anyway. Let's start it off with this Tekken World Tour Finals. You went to it.
I actually got to go. That's right. It worked out very well for me. Like, I had this trip up north that served so many purposes. Like, everything about this trip was like, it was like the perfect time and everything to do it.
Okay.
But basically, I mean, just a long story short, my best friend from Virginia and my best friend in NorCal, the three of us all went to high school together.
Oh, that's cute.
He went out to NorCal for a job interview, basically, and so I was like, I'll come up and visit too. And he had to leave early Sunday morning, so basically me and my other friend who goes to EVO every year with me, we just went to Tekken World Tour and hung out there for the day. Yeah, so
that
it
sounds
was like
cool, man.
It all just kind of fell into place.
Well, I only watched after the selection of pools. So you had a different perspective on it. How was it in person?
It was interesting because I know I took a picture of it and someone was like, oh, this venue looks kind of ghetto or whatever. It looks like you're in a hallway. It was interesting. It was literally in the Metreon, which is the big old mall in San Francisco. And it was in a place called the City View. So it's just, it is sort of hall-like. It was long, and like the main stuff was over here. The VIP section was off to the side. They had a consoles on display for you to play stuff here, and like the geese was playable over here. But then out the back doors was this huge balcony that you could go and just a beautiful view of the city, which is why it's called the City View, right?
Oh, interesting.
It was a really, really pretty venue in the middle of in the heart of San Francisco. So it was actually kind of cool.
That sounds awesome. I've been to the Metreon many times.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's a nice building for sure. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah, and Sajam live streamed there, courtesy of Z.
That's right.
Z was live streaming from there, and Sajam said, "Dude, can I do this?" And he took his stuff and live streamed. So
it's cool.
He actually got to show off a lot of venue over there as well.
Before we get to the results, did you get to try any geese?
I did not. I watched a lot. So that's the problem. Is like I'm always the kind of person that needs to sit down by myself with them, which is why like every time like when Ultra Betas came out, I never played any of those and stuff like that because I just like sitting down and labbing characters, and so I watched a lot of people using him and play him, and it's cool because he literally has a KOF meter. He has the max meter, and you can max cancel off of it and everything. And he's like the other characters. He's got actual jumps, you know. They just do such a nice job putting the characters in there, and he just looks so good.
He definitely looks awesome.
He looks so good graphically.
Sure. Yeah, no, he looks really, really cool. Well, okay. I mean, I heard some things from people on Twitter about how they thought he played.
Okay.
It sounded, I mean, I don't have any specifics, but it sounded like he played interestingly and they could find some similarities between him and other characters. Okay. But that, as you said, he had some major differences too.
Yeah. Like even, what was it, Rick? You know, Rick Steezy was using geese, and I was watching him play against Peeling for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was doing like this overhead, mid. It was an air mid attack that you could cancel into air fireball, but that move is like safe on block and all.
Air fireball safe on block?
That looks safe on block too, and even that mid move was safe on block. But you could sidestep it and blow it up. Okay. So so there was ways to mess it up and everything.
Cool, man.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, he looks really interesting. Well,
yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about the event?
A lot of people seem to have fun there, and surprisingly, it was way more packed than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
There was a lot of people there. In fact, the hallway where the main screen was pretty much like you couldn't walk through it. But fortunately, there were 2 doors out to the balcony just around it, so you could go around that way. But that's how you had to get through it, just to give an indication that all the seats were taken up and all the standing room was being used up too.
Well, on the stream, they said that there were 1,000 people there.
Okay.
In person.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
And
what happened in the tournament?
Event was super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. I mean, it was interesting because it started with the pools, right? So they did the pool format, but they used the Japanese tech where they let the players decide where they want to go in pools.
Did you see that part of it? Because I came in after that on the stream.
I saw tiny bits of it, but unfortunately I was on the way there, so I was watching on my phone on the stream, driving to the venue.
Okay.
So I wasn't actually live when they were doing it, but basically JDCR put his name down first, and then a whole bunch of people just like were trying to avoid him. Saint put him in another pool, and Jimmy J Tran just walked right up and wrote his name right under Saint without even a thought, and everyone was like, oh my god. But then all of a sudden, like, Nobi jumps in there, and then, it was like...
So this is what I wonder. They picked it?
Yes.
I mean, I knew that the players picked it, but I figured what had happened was that, like, unfortunate circumstances arose, and like the last 3 people to pick were like these ridiculous rest of the 4 in that pool, because that pool was crazy.
That
pool D was nuts.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah,
but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure at that point. So, and I actually think it's weird because, frankly, I think JDCR should go like 9th. Because then people would have filled it out, and then he'd be able to go, which one's the easiest one, and pick whichever one he wants to go into.
I can see that.
In a weird way, like, I almost feel like the highest seed should go in the middle. Because if you go at the end, you don't have any choice anymore. Yeah. But if you go at the beginning, then you put it down, and then the people jump. And maybe it works out because all the good people leave you. And,
they avoid you.
Yeah, or something.
Except for Jimmy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure Jimmy picked Saint's pool intentionally. He walked right up and wrote it down.
That's great.
Without any questions. So.
That's great.
And he qualified out too.
He sure did. He sure did.
So cool.
All right, you want to talk about results then?
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about like each of the pools first, or do you want to just talk about the top 8?
Well, I mean that pool 4D, I forget what it was called. That was the wildest.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, the best thing about that pool. Let's see, do they even have they have the match log for the group stage. But here's the funny thing is, like, I was cheering for Jimmy J Tran the whole entire time, of course. I was like, go Jimmy! And some guy behind me was, like, cheering for Nee. He's like, come on, Nee! And I would, like, go Jimmy! And he'd be like, go Nee! Like, we were definitely
battles?
Yeah, we were kind of playing off of each other while that was happening. And then Jimmy won, right? Yeah. And I was okay. So then he went up to go play against Nobi, right? Yeah. And Nobi, I think his team is like Team Yamasa or whatever like that. But the seat that I was sitting in, literally the 2 people next to me were like his Team Yamasa teammates and stuff. And, and so like every time Jimmy would win, I'd be like, yeah.
Shove it in their face.
Well done, Nobi. Well done. Well done. He put up a good fight.
My God,
but Jimmy ended up winning, and I was pretty excited about it.
So what was that? What was that pool? Just go to the group stage.
That pool was Pool D.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it was. Oh, they do have the results here. Cool,
yeah.
Sweet. So Pool 4 was Saint, Jimmy J Tran, Nobi, and Nee.
That was wild. And who went 0-2?
Someone went 0-3, didn't they? I think Nee went 0-3.
Nee went 0. I'm sorry, that's what I meant. He went winless. Yeah. Yes, Nee got busted.
Yes. He got an arrow to him.
To his him.
Yeah, exactly. He went. Can you believe it? He went 0-3.
No, it was a wild pool.
And wasn't Nobi, if I'm not mistaken. So this year broke the streak, right, of EVO and Tekken World Championship winners, right? Previous year, Saint won both EVO and Tekken World Championships. And the year before that, wasn't it Nobi who won both of them? Or it was a Japanese player, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it was Nobi or not, but somebody in the chat can let me know. But yeah, Jimmy made it out of there. He beat Nobi and Nee.
Well, even in the pool stage, some matches were ridiculous. Like, a couple of Jimmy's matches were wild.
Yeah, it was Nobi, so some people are saying it was Nobi,
Down to the very last hit.
Yeah!
It was the last hit. It was crazy.
And Jimmy was up 2 rounds, the nun, so it was like, okay, he's got this, and then, Yeah, then Nobi came back too, and I was like, oh my
Super
God.
close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somehow Nii and Nobi did not qualify.
Yeah, so Group 3 was Tishumon and Noroma making it out of there.
Anakin did not make it out.
He did not make it out, neither did Kanan Trench.
Indeed.
So they, in fact, I believe, oh no, Speed Kicks made it out. Speed Kicks made it out. So Group 2, it was Kudans and Speed Kicks. And Blackbeard and Super Akuma did not make it out. Super Akuma, of course, he was the one that went 0-3. And Kanan Trench also went 0-3 in his group. And then in Group 1, JDCR and Joey Fury made it out. And Fergus and Peeling did not, and Peeling went the ignominious 0-3 in that pool.
0-6 in games.
Yes.
Bam.
6 in games.
Bam.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, that was the pools. And I love that format. I like the idea of being able to see a player more than just twice if they go 0-2 because they get to go 0-3 at a minimum.
Yeah.
So I think that's really great. I like that.
I think that's cool. And then, of course, they all got put into a 8-man bracket. The second place finishers of the pools did start on loser's side. Yeah. So they started with the 4 winners on top and the 4 losers on the bottom. Unfortunately, Jimmy J. Tran did not win his first match, so he was...
Let's go to this top 8.
Sure. So 7th place was Speed Kicks with Hwarong and Jimmy J. Tran with Brian. 5th place was Circa Joey Fury with Jack 7 and Paul. And COOAS Noroma with Jack 7. There was a lot of Jack. People started booing Jack at some point in time at the venue. Yeah,
boo, my boy.
Because they were getting so sick of seeing so much Jack. There was 3 Jacks in top 8.
Yeah, you know.
4th place was CGG Tishumon with Master Raven representing Italy. 3rd place, Echo Fox JDCR with Dragunov and Heihachi, and he went 0-2 against Kudans.
Kudans busted him.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where JDCR was, like, laughing when he was playing Heihachi. When he switched Heihachi, he was, like, laughing, and he was just like, it looked like he was like, I don't know what to do.
Like, once he got to Heihachi, it was much closer.
Yeah.
Before that, man, it was blow up.
Yeah, it was crazy. And 2nd place was Echo Fox Saint with Jack 7, who blew up Kudans in winner's side, in winner's finals. He blew him up pretty badly there. And then all of a sudden, Kudans, who took first place with Devil Jin, came back and was able to figure something out because he won pretty handily. Except for that one game where Saint won 3 rounds in a row. It was like 3-0 where he just like busted him.
That's true. That was super fast.
Yeah, he busted him and it was like, oh, here comes the turnaround. Yeah. And then Kudans was like, nope. Power of the turtleneck, dude.
The turtleneck. Yeah. It was a blast. It was so fun to watch. All the matches were super good.
So good.
Saint's style with Jack, I'm fine. People don't like Jack. Like, he's been but to me, that style is so interesting. It's so economical.
Yeah.
Like his movement is different than like everybody else up there. Even the other Jack players, they're moving around a lot more, and he's just like, I know where I am. I'm certain about my spacing. No unnecessary movement. I think that's awesome.
It plays the most un-Tekken-like.
Yes, it's super interesting. It's super interesting. So I like that a lot. I thought it was very cool to hear that Tishumon, who was originally Japanese, I guess, but now is living in Italy. He could have said that he was like Japan for purposes of the flag, but he picked Italy.
Yes,
like he feels like he's been living there long enough that he feels like he's like EU. He's Italy now rather than Japan.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So.
And shout outs to Joey Fury for getting up there in 5th place. That is, I mean, there was some good American players up there. He got the highest.
Yeah, the competition there was pretty crazy, obviously. But like Kudans, it's so cool because I don't know the Tekken scene very well, right? Yeah. So I don't know the players as well as a lot of other people do. Sure. But when I did an Evo DVD trailer, like in 2004, I think it was the 4 trailer, Kudans is there. Sure. Like, he's one of my highlights in there. And it's like, it's cool because he's a veteran. And he came back and he did not play Tekken 6 or Tag.
Yeah.
Because he had hand problems or a health problem or something like that.
Yeah. What I read was that he's literally a veteran. First of all,
right, yeah,
he had to go to the military for a period of time, as you do in that country, and he also, though, what I read was that he played too much and he screwed up his hand in some way, so he had to relearn a new method of either the stick hand or the button, I don't know which one, had to learn a new input method. And he did, I guess. And now he's back. That's right.
It hasn't hurt him.
I remember hearing the name way back in the day. I mean, I was only tangentially playing Tekken. I wasn't super serious about it, but I do remember the name for sure from back then. So that's awesome to see him back on top in the way that he is. And you could see it was a big emotional thing for him. You know, he was tearing up.
Dude, so... I mean, when he first beat JDCR, like, he just jumped off the stage and was running around with his arms raised. But the sad thing is, so my friend who was with me, he had to wake up early for work the next day. So basically, as soon as it won, we had to leave. I didn't see the award ceremony, but then some people were saying, yeah, he started getting very emotional.
Indeed, he did.
I'm glad I wasn't there, because I totally would have started crying, too. I would have cried with him. So.
Cutie. It was awesome. And the way he played was extremely impressive. And you know, he's only 30.
Dude, the pictures
That's crazy.
with Markman and him at the original Evo that he was at, like, he looks like a little boy, dude.
I mean, he must have been. He must have been in the mid-teens.
Yeah.
At the time, you know, it's when I heard that he had come back, I think of somebody who like played 15 years ago and then came back as being like somebody who's old. Like, for sure, you're mid-30s minimum.
Right? Yeah.
No, he's 30, or he was born in '87. I don't even know if he's 30 or 29 still.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Possible, probably not, but you know, in any case, very impressive.
But I mean, obviously, like, JDCR was the favorite, right? A lot of people were joking, like, oh, this is his tournament to win, etc., etc. But, like, I think we've talked about this in the Smash scene, and we've talked about this in all sorts of things, in lots of different contexts. But Kudon's coming back and winning this great story, and it just shows that the competition out there is still very fierce and competitive, and JDCR is not dominant. Because if JDCR had beaten Kudon's in the loser's bracket, I feel like he just would have just wiped Saint out, which he always does. Like, he does all the time for some reason. Like, whenever they play each other, JDCR just kind of blows him away. So even though I was sad to see JDCR lose, right, because I like JDCR a lot, but, like, for me, I thought that added a lot more of the kind of excitement there, although I was worried that Kudon's was just going to get blown up by Saint again. But it didn't happen.
No,
so
surely did not.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, it was a blast to watch. Great job on commentary. Everybody involved.
Yeah,
they did very, very well. Could you hear them in the audience?
Yes, they blasted it out there. And, you know, it's interesting because as someone who, I'm not super well versed in Tekken, right?
Yeah.
But my best friend was there too, and he knows even less about Tekken.
Right.
Like, I can see why it's just so appealing to have commentary blasted out there. And, you know, to my credit, my best friend even told me that he was able to enjoy the matches a lot more because I kept explaining to him things about the game, like how it's supposed to be played, and why things are
Tekken expert over here.
This is why, like, I want to help. I think I can help teach this game. I really, honestly do, from that beginner level.
Yeah.
I can get you past the door. From there, you go talk to everybody else. But I really want to see what I can do to help with that because, you know, I saw a lot of people tweeting afterwards, and some people in the chat earlier today, before you got here, were like, I bought Tekken because of Tekken World Tour. Like, a whole bunch of people were saying that, and it's just like, and then you had mentioned Z, and I saw Z tweet about this, but he was like, man, now that I've gotten to know the Injustice scene and getting involved with them and seeing what it takes for the game and everything like that, it's just, it's so important to play all these different games. Not even play them. Just watch them and understand, learn them. The way that I said it in my tweet was _appreciate. You know, I didn't even say play. I said learn and appreciate. And those are like the watch, learn, and appreciate. You don't even have to play them. Just as long as you watch them and understand. Because I know a lot of people, when they watch Injustice, it's like, oh, it's all zoning or whatever. Oh, the zoning's so boring. But if you play the game and you understand, like, try it. Try the zoning yourself. It's not that straightforward. So when you see someone do such a great job with zoning, that's skill. That's talent right there. And so it's like so important to play and understand all the different games, because then it just makes it that much easier to watch and more appreciative to watch.
I highly agree. And that is very cool to hear that people are picking up the game. It's obviously very well deserved.
And it's going to be more too.
Yes, that's right. I was just going to get to this. There was a huge announcement during the Tekken World Tournament Finals. Unbelievable news. They are reducing input lag.
maybe they're looking into it.
Working on it.
Yes, working on it. But I mean,
they claim to have already reduced input lag, but then I saw
people testing it.
Yeah, some people tested it, and in fact they found that it had not changed. So whatever. But
yeah, I mean
that's one of the big items of news.
Right, but I mean, again, to the point that I said the first time when it came out, they were like, we have to retest the whole thing.
Right.
It's a lot of work. If it happens, it's going to happen halfway through the year or something like that. It's going to be a crap ton of work in order to get that game with that new engine in there. But it's cool that they're thinking about it, and they talked about it. They actually addressed it, and I think that's super cool.
I agree. Yeah, it shows that their focus is on competitive stuff.
And Harada has always been very forthcoming with the input lag stuff on his Twitter. He's always been like, yes, we're trying our best to reduce it, etc., etc. Good communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But they kept something secret.
Yeah, shout-outs to Harada's, the way they set it up, though. Because it was funny, because they were like, Michael, he started to walk off, and Michael Moore's like, wait, didn't you forget anything? Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, whatever. Yes, he's like, no, there was something else. And he was like, oh, that's right. Merry Christmas. And then walked off. But that worked, because it's Merry Christmas. Here's your present, dude.
Yeah,
and
that was great.
They showed their final guest character, and it is Noctis. From Final Fantasy 15.
Noctis, Lucis, Callium or something? The whole name was in the trailer.
Vithos, Lusek, Vicos.
Hopefully that's how you pronounce it correctly. This modern Latin with its soft C's. It's ridiculous.
I've never played Final Fantasy 15.
Same.
So I couldn't quite have the emotional investment into it, but I understand why everyone's so excited and hype about it.
I'm not sure everyone's
although there is definitely a bunch of people who are not happy about it. What are your thoughts?
It's pronounced Calum? What is
Calum?
Oh, man. When Japanese takes over Latin. Anyway, I think it's fine. If that helps bring in people who would not have otherwise played Tekken, then it's genius. And I think that's basically what all of the guest characters are doing, right? Akuma, trying to get Street Fighter players. Geese, trying to get KOF players. When they announced Soul, bad guy, trying to get Guilty Gear players. And when Noctis was announced, Final Fantasy players.
What do you mean announced Soul bad guy?
What about that?
Wait, what?
What?
I know he was rumored to be in Tekken 7.
I don't have any info, James.
I heard he was rumored to be in Tekken 7 because there was files that people data mined and the word burst and air dash were in there.
Really?
And they were taken out. And then they were put back in.
That's fine. I literally just made it up right now.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's what they're trying to go for. And certainly that is a giant audience to go to Final Fantasy. That's huge.
Now, here's my question to you. Do you think it would have been less exciting or more exciting given the age between the characters? But what if they had put Tifa in there instead of Noctis?
Nobody knows who Tifa is.
Really?
Well, not nobody, but old people know. Maybe not.
Because Tifa's a brawler at least, right? See, I would have liked Sabin to be put in there, but
that would have been sick.
But he's too old school.
It's much too old.
It's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah. No, I feel like it's really smart because they get it's current. It's a partnership with a big franchise, right? That can help drive sales, and they get hopefully new players, and hopefully some of them become competitive players.
The whole time, as soon as they announced Noctis, and I was like, now the Cup of Noodles sponsorship makes sense because Tekken 7 is all sponsored by Cup Noodles, right?
Is Final Fantasy also?
Final Fantasy 15 has missions that are like Cup Noodle commercials, basically.
What?
We need to go get this Cup Noodles, literally.
Really? Literally the brand Cup Noodles.
Cup Noodles has a huge sponsorship of Final Fantasy 15.
Oh my god.
Honestly, it is there. I haven't played it, but I know about this. But there's missions where you actually go after Cup Noodles or something like that, and it plays a role in the game afterwards or something like that.
There's Cup Noodle headgear? What is this? This makes me a little mad, to be honest.
They actually Kapu is the emote. There's a global emote that's Kappu. Kapu. Kapu.
Oh, well, there you go. That's modern capitalism, folks.
Yeah, and it works. And dude, the sad thing was the venue had cup of noodles everywhere.
I saw that on
They buried them
stream.
everywhere, and they were supposed to be. You were supposed to just be able to pick them up and pour hot water and eat them. They wouldn't have. That was why they were there. But the person providing the hot water couldn't get it there, and then in order to provide hot water to the venue it's a huge insurance risk.
Interesting.
So they couldn't do it. So everyone just put them in their bags and took them home.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, that's funny that they did that. I mean, certainly from a stream viewer perspective, I thought that the cup noodles thing was funny enough that it wasn't like, I can't believe they're doing this again. It was like, it was alright. Anyway, Noctis, when they showed his boots at the start, like as a stream viewer, I could hear the crowd, you know, and there's like nobody, and then they're like starting to get up his boots to like his ankle, and at his ankle, I start to hear like some woo woo. You know, so I can't hear it. I don't know what they're saying, but I start to hear like hype, and it gets hyper and hyper and hyper until like at his midsection, everybody was like whoa, and I had obviously no idea. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Oh man,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's someone actually yelled, "It's Noctis." But I mean, like, so my best friend has played Final Fantasy 15, so the whole time he's like, yeah, that's a move that he has and everything.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
That, yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of the stuff that was in there, and I like the teaser at first too. They're trying to make you guess which of the characters is going to be in there because he's like, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to do it myself. And then they show him fishing with Lars at the end. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a nice, hilariously well done trailer. Sure. I thought, but you know, the character. Obviously, Yoshimitsu has a sword, so whatever. It's but I mean, he looks crazy though.
Yeah,
he's like
teleporting into swords and stuff.
Yeah, because that's apparently one of his moves. You throw the sword, and you teleport to the sword and stuff like that. I don't know, because like when I first heard the rumor that maybe Soul Bad Guy was going to be the character, I was like, "There's no way they can put him in the game." Then it was like Noctis, and I was like, "Okay, I guess that little makes more sense." And then he's teleporting, and I'm like, "Well, never mind."
And then I leaked that Soul Bad Guy's coming out 5 minutes ago.
Dude. I guess so.
Anyway, yeah, his moves look very interesting. So we'll see how he plays, etc., etc.
But yeah, no, the event was super cool, and again, the finals were super hype, and you know, I'm glad a lot of people watched it, and I'm glad a lot of people were influenced enough by it to like, you know what, I need to buy some Tekken 7
for sure
because the game is great, and you know, even with the whole cup noodles thing, like I know I've had conversations with the Hado, you know, on Twitter before. It's a great example of why, like, you don't have to be a tech company to sponsor any of these things, right? So cup noodles is like, you know what, it's a bunch of gamers. Yeah. They would really appreciate some cup noodles, you know, like this is perfect for them.
I'm a Maruchan guy myself, but you know.
Okay. All right. Don't say that. Come on, dude. Cup noodles sponsoring Ultra Chen, right? Dude, like, let's do it. Because they also sponsored that Dissidia thing that went on at Southern California Regional.
I guess that makes sense if they have the thing going on with Final Fantasy. That makes total sense then.
There you
go. I thought that was very curious at the time, but now you're Final Fantasy in missions, in having cup noodles in missions. It makes much more sense. Okay.
So now they need to come out with an ad campaign that's like, God bless the noodles, you know, like
I can't.
Air Guys status.
Yeah. By the way, that was the first time, that event, that I realized that it's cup noodles.
Yeah.
And not cup of noodles.
I don't feel like it's always been that way.
I have no idea either way, but I can tell you what I've always thought it was cup of noodles.
I always thought it was cup o noodles, like cup of noodles, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's what I thought too.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I guess we're wrong.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, enough about the old Tekkens. It's a fun game.
Noodles now. Yeah, it used to be cup of noodles. See, they did change it.
Well, why would they change it?
I don't know.
I don't like cup noodles. It makes my mouth angry.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
No, you got to go right from a p to a n.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
But the craziest thing is some of the ads they showed, like, there was actually, like curry cup noodle thing, but with rice instead. I don't know. There's some good looking things there. So, in any case.
All right, enough about this.
Noodles. Okay, so anything else that you wanted to say about this event?
Tekken's a pretty cool game.
Yeah.
All right.
DBFZ
happened at the thing.
Okay, well, I mean, one more thing I will say about Tekken is, like, I mean, despite any rage and complaints, like, about difficulty and stuff like that, my most happy... Because remember last year, at the end of the year, we always do our, here's our resolutions or whatever, and I said I was going to play more fighting games,
That's true.
right? And I played a lot of Injustice, Guilty Gear, Tekken, and stuff.
That's
and
true.
honestly, out of everything that I've done, like, learning Tekken and actually learning the game has made me the happiest thing, like, all throughout the year. So I'm, like, super happy. I understand the game now. I can watch it. It's hype, and the game is great. So.
Very cool.
DBFZ.
DBFZ was the Sonic Fox show.
Yeah, kind of an unfortunate situation, though, because Max plays on a joystick, and they didn't have a joystick available for it. So he had to play on pad.
That does suck. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had to play on pad. So, I mean, he said himself, he was like, I was going to get destroyed by Sonic Fox no matter what.
Definitely was, but still.
He just couldn't control it as well because he had to play
That's
it on
too
a different
bad.
controller. So
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it wasn't a new build. In fact, I heard that it was an older build than the most recently playable one.
Okay.
But even still, it was just cool to watch. It was cool to see somebody like Sonic Fox put his thoughts into the game and see some... I mean, I haven't followed the development super closely, but I hadn't seen somebody move around with Android 16 in the way that he did, so I thought that was very interesting.
It was also funny, too, because I was sitting next to some TOs while I was watching the exhibition, and they were just like, anybody asks for this game to be 3 out of 5, I'm going to shoot them.
Yeah, it lasted a long time now, but
we don't know, right?
I suspect it'll end up fast.
Exactly. We don't know. All the Marvel games start off slow.
Always.
And then they just end up becoming like, how fast can you die, you know?
For sure. So, we'll see. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I don't want to poop on Max. I thought he did some cool stuff. I thought PL did some cool stuff. It was very cool to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Good stuff to them. Good stuff to...
Fun-looking game, for sure.
Yes. And a great event. Great event. Glad to see Tekken World Tour. I mean, last year, Tekken World Tour finals were really cool to watch. You know, and this year I felt like it was the same thing. So, I want to say kudos to them, but should I say kudons to them instead?
This guy.
Yeah. So kudons to the Tekken and the Bandai Namco team to doing a great job running this tournament.
All right.